Hello, my crafty friends. How are you today? My name is Linda Edwards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to show you how to make this fun card today. It is a Christmas card, but I like to use some unusual color combinations in my Christmas card, and you can see that this is quite unusual for Christmas. It's Coastal Cabana, Pebbled Path, Old Olive, and then there's some Daffodil Delight. So stay tuned and I will show you how to do it. We're going to do some blending. We're going to use watercolor pencils, and I've got some new product to share with you. So we are using the Winterly Treetops bundle. This is a suite that is in the new catalog. And as you can see, this is the bird we're going to use, and we're going to also use this swag. But I'm making it a Christmas card. As you can see, it doesn't have to be for Christmas by any means. And you could just change up the sentiment and make it your own. Make it a birthday or thank you or, whatever. But the other thing I'm using is another new stamp and die set in our catalog. And I really, really like this one. This is the Christmas Labels stamp set, and it comes with a set of dies. And I made a little cheat sheet. Oh, I can see that mine moved. But anyway, but you can see this is the one we're going to use today. And I showed you how it would look. You can do like the red on the granny apple green. This is embossed in gold, beautiful. And these are just some of the sentiments and how they fit on the dies. I just thought that was really cool. This is a heat embossed white, our new Wow embossing powders. They are so wonderful. You don't need to use the white craft ink. They give you a really, really good image. Yeah, with the embossing folders or embossing powder. See that Be Merry? It really turned out great. So a really, really wonderful bundle, I think, for the holidays. You could do a lot of different things with it. So let me put these aside and get you started with the materials that you need for this card. So if you've ordered the card kit from me, of course, your kit will come with all of your materials pre-cut in an envelope. This is the Coastal Cabana. It's just your basic card base, your standard card base, half a piece of cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. And then you have a layer of Pebbled Path. This is 5.5 by 4, so a little different because I went top to bottom. I just thought it would be kind of fun to mix that up a little bit. So that's your Pebbled Path. Then we're going to do some stamping and blending on a piece of Designer Series paper. This is the paper that does come with the suite, the Winterly Treetops. This is the other side. You can see this kind of looks like bark. Let me bring in that paper. It really is gorgeous paper. I've done a couple of cards, a couple of videos with this paper. Here, look at that. Isn't that fun? All those little images that you can cut out. I actually used my scan and cut and was able to really get some great images with that, with the green on the other side. This one is just gorgeous, and you could easily cut it in half and then in thirds and get some card bases, and we made some cards with some of that. And then on the other side is a nice neutral. These birds, you can cut them out. I didn't try it with my scan and cut, but I'll bet it would work well. And I think there's actually a die for a couple of these. I think there's a die for this one. And then look at that pretty pool party background. Oh, that's the same one. That one I already showed you. Here, these can all be die cut. There are dies for these. Make life simpler, and another fun pool party background. And look at this. I made a card with the Nests of Winter Designer Series paper. Made a couple of really simple cards using just a template with this paper. And, I really love birds. I'm a bird watcher, so this paper was right up my alley. As soon as I saw it, that was one of my first purchases that I made. So, and then we have a piece of, this is for the inside. This is just a basic white, and it's 4 3/4 by 3.5. I think I didn't tell you the size of the Designer Series paper is 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. So it nests in this Pebbled Path. 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. That'll be for the inside. And then I have a piece of what I'm going to use as scrap. And you can see I've already die cut the sentiment from this. I feel like it's easier for me to die cut it and then stamp it when it's been die cut. So that's why I did it that way. But you need about 1/4 sheet of paper to do all the die cutting for this card. So this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So that, again, will come in your kit. So let's get started with actually, I'm going to start with this one first. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper. And this is kind of a fun idea. We have something here in the Stampin' Up world called, oh gosh, I forgot what it's called, but it'll come to me. And I learned it at this event that we had to Stampin' Up, and I thought it was really, really clever, so I wanted to share it with you. So this is one of the dies that comes in the Nests of Winter, the Winterly Treetops bundle, with the Nest of Winter suite. And I die cut this piece out of old olive. You can die cut it out of any piece you want. Where is it? It does, I promise it did. I did die cut it. There we go, because this is the middle. This is the middle of the piece. Here we go. So I went ahead and die cut it, and then I'm going to use the outer edge for something else, for another card. But I saved this piece, and we are going to do some blending with this piece here. So you can see how I put it just right on top of the Designer Series paper. I'm going to bring in my blending brush, and I've got a large blending brush here, and I'm going to bring the paper, tap a little bit off, and then just go to town. And you do have to be a little bit careful when you go with these thin areas here. Some of them want to kind of move on you. So just be careful, and don't let the paper move. But it doesn't need to be super, super dark, because we're going to go over a second time. So, I got that way. Now, normally I like to turn my paper when I do things, but because I don't have this securely attached, I'm going to just do it without turning my paper. So, here we go, just all the way around. And then we are going to turn something, but this is the part that was new to me, and I thought, how clever is this? I keep wanting to say the event was on stage, and I know it's not. That's coming up in March for demonstrators. That's kind of our annual convention. Creativity Now, that's it. That's, again, another demonstrator-only event. It's really a lot of fun. It's virtual, and they use this Nests of Winter suite there. Okay, so that's the first layer. Cute, right? Adorable. Now watch this. I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to put it back down. Isn't this so clever? Oh, my God, some people are so creative. And I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to get a little more depth in this image. I just thought this was so fun. And you'll see I'm going to get a little bit darker on the outside, right? Because it's going over some of the areas that have already been blended. But it'll still leave, you don't want to go too dark because you don't want to cover up all of it, because it's going to leave kind of a two-tone effect. So there we go. Almost done. And you could use the large or the small blending brushes. They come 3 in a pack, work really well. There we go. We're going to make this card at my card class that's coming up, that is in September. I do a Christmas in September card class. There we go. So this is one of the cards we're going to make. Isn't that fun? It just gives a little two-tone effect, some darker, some lighter, which I thought was really, really, was new to me. So I thought I would share that with you. All right, so we'll move that aside, and let's do some other stamping. So we could certainly stamp our sentiment. Now this is photopolymer, so I do like to bring in, Okay, I don't have my machine, but I think I have, here, I can use this. This is my silicone mat. That'll give me a little cushion. And then I'm gonna use the Old Olive ink. And you can line it up because it's photopolymer. You can see very easily where it needs to be lined up. There we go. Great image there. And then, let's see, we're going to use Old Olive again. Now, the rest of these are they're cling stamps, so I don't need to worry about having any kind of cushion under them. You see how you can tell this one has, see, it's got a cushion in it already. It's got that white foam, so you don't need to add additional foam to it. So now I am going to, because I'm going to use the water pencils, but I'm not going to actually add any water to them, I can go ahead and just use our regular ink. If I was going to blend with the water, I would use Memento. All right, so that's the green, the Old Olive. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is, let's see, I do need Old Olive for the inside. So let's go ahead and stamp the inside. So wishing you joy and happiness. Okay, this is the inside. There. And I'm going to bring back this image, and we are going to have some fun with it. So I do need a little piece of scrap paper, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, there, oh, I got a little goober there. See how I did? I pressed a little too hard, so let me clean that off. All right. If you don't just tap, tap, tap really lightly, sometimes that will happen, but that's okay. It's handmade. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more in the middle. I think I want this way. I'm gonna kind of bring it up a little bit shorter, like that. Okay, I think that's cute. You can do it all along the side. You can do it all the way around if you wanted to. But I think that's it with my Old Olive ink. So now I'm going to set that one aside. Bring this back in, because we are going to use the Memento for the bird. So let's go ahead and, you know, Memento is such a different ink because it's felt. I need to try that. That's okay. Because it's a felt pad, so it just has a different feel to it. You can press a little bit harder with it than you can with the classic Stampin' pads, because they're softer. But this is a great one for using Stampin' blends with, but we're going to use watercolors anyway. Okay, so now we're going to do some coloring. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm going to bring in the water pencils. And I've got a bunch of different colors here. And I'm going to start on the outside, and I'm going to use, this is Coastal Cabana. And I'm just going to color in these leaves. The thicker leaves are Coastal Cabana, the wider ones with the stem, or what do you call that? The vein in them. These are the ones I'm doing Coastal Cabana. And I'm not really, I'm just kind of lightly coloring them. I will come back and do a little more dark, but I want to, I'll go over it again to get a little bit of depth, but I'm not really too concerned about a lot of shading. The only thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to come in and I'm going to go a little bit darker on that vein and kind of along the base of these. So all along where Stampin' Up! Has given us the clues of where some shading would be, all those lines, I'm just using that information in the stamp set to go ahead and add a little bit of depth. It's one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Is it just makes me look good, makes me look like I know what I'm doing. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in Old Olive, and I'm just going to really lightly go those other leaves. I tried this at first with the Memento, and it was too harsh. I think using the green on green is really pretty and soft, and that was what I wanted for this card. It kind of echoes the blending that we did on the Designer Series paper. So keep it soft, keep it consistent, and keep it simple. This one would be the kind of Christmas card you'd give to somebody who appreciates your cards, because it's a little more involved than, like a standard Christmas card. It would be a little tricky to make a lot of these, to make a mass. But for somebody special, maybe a bird watcher in your family, this I think would be a really fun card. So this is just Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to go ahead, since I'm here, and use that for my bird as well. So I'm kind of just coloring his belly. One of the challenges with being a bird watcher is I feel like, do my birds need to be realistic? Do I need to be make them look like they're real birds? I don't know. I decided no. I decided I was going to just have fun with the colors. There may be a bird somewhere in the world that looks like this bird, but it's not meant to represent any bird in particular. I just thought the blue and the yellow was really pretty together, and it worked on my card, so that was how I decided what to do. And there's a little bit of a wing right here. And then I really don't need to do the feet because they're going to be covered up. So I'm not going to worry about it. I guess I could do a little bit of green down here. Some of that might show, but, and I do want to bring in the pumpkin pie for his beak. And maybe a little bit of green for the branch. That's it. Now, I am going to bring in this is a blender pen. They come 4 to a set, and it will, I'm going to start with the lighter, it will brighten up. Look at how bright that is for my bird. So I'm going to just kind of blend that a little bit, and then all you do to clean it is wipe it there, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the blue. It just kind of, it blends. You can use, and it works a little bit better than water. This is just regular, not that it works better, it just gives you a different effect. If I was going to actually use water on these, I would use watercolor paper, and I could use the Memento, but I would use watercolor paper. But with the blender pen, here we go. And then the inside, let's go ahead and color these. On the inside, we'll do the same thing. The yellow for the berries. You see, it goes pretty quickly. And, if you enjoy coloring, this is really, kind of fun, relaxing. And I really enjoyed kind of creating this unusual color combination for you. And as I said, we actually are making this card in my Christmas in September card class. If you live in the Greensboro, Georgia area or are visiting Lake Oconee, we'd love to have you join me for one of my classes. I hold them twice a month, Friday afternoons and a Wednesday morning. And we have a lot of fun. I've got a lot of fun ladies that join me, and some are beginners, some are creatives that have a variety of interests in crafting. And we all have a lot of fun. It's a really fun group, and I enjoy creating classes or cards for those classes. I also post regularly on my YouTube channel. I'm a little not as good about Facebook and Instagram, but when I do a video for these cards, I do upload them to YouTube. If you want to be notified of any of my videos from the cards that we do, you can certainly subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Helps other people find me. And if you want the card kit for any of my classes, you can get those as well, so that then you can make the cards on your own at home. All right, I think that's all of my stamping. So let's move this stuff out of the way and bring in the die cutting machine. I did already die cut some of these pieces, which, oh, I forgot to tell you, you'll need those. You'll need some scrap of Coastal Cabana and Old Olive for the pieces. I've got one missing. Ah, there it is. It's always in the envelope. I did die cut those ahead of time. Those dies are from the Winterly Treetops die set. Oh, and you know, one more thing. I forgot. I want to decorate my envelope. So let's bring this guy back in. And we're going to just keep it simple. I'm not going to color it. Certainly you could if you wanted to. But I'm going to just keep it simple, kind of like a little preview of what your recipient is going to get. All right, that's the end of the stamping. So let's bring my die cutting machine in. It's always a little tight here. So, okay. So it's the standard cutting plate. So the base plate 1, and then number 2, and then 2 of the clear images. So, or the clear plates. So I'm going to line this one up. As you can see, I've already done it once, so I've got the tape on the die. It does help keep it in place. Oh, I think the other die is underneath my die cutting machine. And here, let's bring in another piece of tape. I like this. Here's one here. This blue tape. I don't have to worry about it tearing my paper. It holds well, but it doesn't make it too tight. There you go. Bring it through and take it out. And now we can assemble the card. There we go. Okay, let's bring everything back in. All right, card base. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and attach the pebbled path. Now the reason I chose the pebbled path is because that is the color that's in that designer series paper. So that was kind of how I decided what I wanted to use. See, that's got some pebbled path there. Obviously, if this color palette is not something that appeals to you, you could certainly adapt and use something else. The blue is the Coastal Cabana is the kind of the unusual part of all of this, but I thought it was really fun. So it could be tropical. You know, if you're somebody that lives in this Australia or on some other warm weather climate, this could be really fun for a holiday card. Or maybe you just want to live in a warm climate. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna just set that there. And then I'll bring this in. So I am going to have kind of my bird underneath. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put him in. I'm gonna, again, use dimensionals. There are quite a few dimensionals on this card, but I don't think, well, I know you're not gonna have any trouble sending it through the mail. There's no double dimensionals, and sometimes the pearls and the the beads can be a problem, but these will not. I am going to use some, but you won't have any trouble with it. So let's put that like right about there. And that'll help me know where I want to put this, because I know I am going to put that kind of covering up his legs there. So, but I do want my sprigs. I want one to be, so if that's going to go there, I don't want to put my dimensionals on yet because I might use them to hold the sprigs on. So let's kind of do that. And then I'll layer them. So I know I want that guy there. So I'm going to go ahead and use the liquid glue to just attach him so that I can get some dimension. So I want him to be like right about there. And then this guy, I'm going to go ahead and put underneath my, so that's right about there. We'll put that right about there. And then this one, will go under here, right about there. And then I can secure it on the back. That one, oh, I didn't put that one down yet. Let's put that one down. I think we're gonna maybe down here. Okay, there we go. And then this last piece is gonna go under here. Like that. And now when I go ahead put my dimensionals on, I'm gonna go ahead and cover up the, you know, kind of attach it so there's a little more, it's a little more secure. Here we go. All right, almost done. Just a few little more fun embellishments. See, that wasn't too long, was it? I do know I want to tuck that under there a little bit. Okay. And then this guy, I'm gonna put him under there. Here we go. All right, now let's bring in some thread. This is the linen thread. I'm going to make a little bow. I did double this. I don't know if I have enough here. I might need a bigger piece. This was a scrap. Yep, that's two. That one's too small. It needs to be a single bow, but I want to make a double. So let's make that a little bit longer. And then I wanted the to do a little, the embellishments. I kind of was looking through all the stuff that we have. So, you know, we have lots. And, you know, you could, I kind of, first I thought maybe I would want to do something with the Coastal Cabana or the yellow, but I don't know. I found these, I'll show you in a minute, and I just thought they were really kind of fun. So that's what we're going to use. And I like to use glue dots with my ribbons. I feel like glue dots and ribbon goes together like peanut butter and jelly. They just help any kind of ribbon or thread stay on. Ah, piece came out. Twist it. There we go. And I'm going to put that right there. Now you can add Wink of Stella to your berries. That would be fun. There we go. But, so these are the Adhesive-Backed Dappled Dots. And they are, the reason I like them is because they're pebbled path. And I just thought that was really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of those. But I will show you that you could also use, we have another pebbled path. This one is, oh no, it's pecan pie and clear dots. But that pecan pie would be really pretty as well. It doesn't really, here, see that? So I could use that as well. It's a little different, but I think it's a little shinier, which is kind of fun. So whichever ones you want, and you may certainly have something else. You could use regular rhinestones and color it with Coastal Cabana blends. That would be fun too. So there you go. Did I do my inside? No. Where is it? Here it is. All right. That's the last thing. Thanks for sticking with me till the end. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Follow me. It helps others find my channel, which I appreciate. If you want to purchase any of the items I've used in today's card, you can do that on my craftyherondesigns.com website. And if you want to learn more about classes, join my newsletter, or you can find my Facebook page, Crafty Heron Designs, or go to my website, and I have information there about with links to registration for in-person classes and for card kits. So thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye for now.